Bobby over here with RHA and one of our agents, Audrey Kroon. Thanks for hopping on, Audrey.
Oh, you're welcome.
So today we want to talk about window of opportunity, what the market is doing for buyers and sellers, and just give you a quick market update. I know this is something we were talking about with Audrey, and all of our clients are calling us and asking a few questions. Would you happen to agree with Audrey?
Oh, I would. There's a lot of questions that they're asking.
Like what?
So a big one is, what do you think about the mortgage rates going up? I have a lot of clients that are always asking me if they think property values are going to be going down.
Mortgage rates are going up. I would have to agree with that, but essentially it just comes down to, when we look at history, it's still at an all-time low, right? When I first joined the industry, and John, when he was at the middle of his industry, we always talked about unique financing, where you would have to take over 10-12% interest rates. So when you look at a 5.5% interest rate, it's still not a bad deal, especially looking at the fact that inflation is at 7 to 8%. So essentially it's still free money.
Okay. All right. So with that, where do you think the real estate market is heading? Do you think it's a better time to buy or sell right now?
I think it's a better time to buy and sell depending on what you're trying to do, right? So what I'm seeing in the market is we're still getting over asking offers in our current market. And some of the prices we're getting are just shocking, like that when we just got under contract yesterday. I did not think we were going to get that price for that house.
I can agree on that.
But what the other agents say, they said my client is not concerned about $5,000 or $10,000 because they're paying rent, they're throwing money out the window, right? And she said for the price that they're paying rent, they're getting more square footage, a finished basement, 2-car garage, a barn, 8 acres of land, right? So when you are paying the same amount as you're paying at an apartment, it essentially makes it worth it. So depending on what end of the spectrum you're at, I think it's important to determine what your goals are, right? So even when I bought a house at the peak of the market this year. But for me, it was for my monthly payment, what am I getting? And does that make sense to me, right? So I was getting more square footage, land, 3-car garage, this, that, and that was for a little bit more than what I was paying previously. So for all this extra stuff, is it worth a few extra $100 a month? For me, it was. So I made the jump. It's also, right, when you look at investing, I tell a lot of my clients, they're like, I want to invest in real estate. I want to be a millionaire. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. But if you look at all of the assets, right, stock market's down, crypto's down, everything's down. Guess what's not down? Real estate.
Yeah.
So it's a store of value. It's something where you could build equity in. And on top of that, it's an asset that goes up every single year. And I think that's the most important part.
I can agree on that.
Yeah. And, going back to the investor part, I tell my investors, what are you trying to do? You want to invest in real estate? What's your goal? Right? I want to make extra income. Okay. Then it would make sense to start like an Airbnb and run that. Right? That's more running like a hotel where you're having constant turnover and whatnot, but you will make income that you could, use for whatever you need. But other clients basically say, I want a retirement fund. I want something for the future. All right. At that case, let's look into buying you multiple long-term rental properties or apartment buildings or a plaza, like we were discussing the other day for one of our other clients, mixed-use building. So those, you buy $1 million, $2, $3 million building, you manage it, and you might make some money on it. You're not turning over crazy profits, at least in our market, you're not. But 10, 20 years down the road, you have $1 million property that your tenants paid off for you.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of people are wanting right now.
Exactly. So in 10 years, it switches the equation, right? In 10 years, it could be now you have a paid off property, so you sell it and you have $1 million, or you keep it and you have $10,000 in income every month.
Yeah, you would
So,
want to keep having the income. A lot of people are wanting to right now.
so again, there's different equations for what your end goal is. I think it's important to determine your goals and your futuristic plans and talk to a realtor that specializes in that area to point and push you in the right direction. Right? Long-term rentals might not fit your plan. Maybe an Airbnb will, maybe that won't. Maybe just getting out of rent and building equity in your own house. Maybe that will work better for you, you know? I think it's important just to determine what your goals and plans are with your family and just plan accordingly and keep moving forward.
I agree.
Perfect. Well, thank you for hopping on today with us, and I'm glad we were able to answer those questions.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course, thank you.